So Kick has officially solidified itself as the worst streaming platform to ever exist. And I don't mean worst as in nobody's streaming on there or it's not popular, but I mean that over the past couple years, even the past couple days, Kick has shown that it has more in common with Live League than it does any other streaming website. Sure, the main idea is the same, a place for people to stream, but what people actually stream is where they differ. As you guys probably know by now, Kick has built its reputation on hosting the bad boys, the cool kids, the people who aren't afraid to get down, dirty, racist, homophobic, transphobic, anything that is the opposite of accepting others. Kick streamers are like, yup, that's us, and you're a if you disagree. Whoa, hey, yo, at least use the A, not the ER. You guys know the deal. Getting banned on Kick holds about as much meaning as this. It's nothing, which is why people are flocking to Kick. They see that they can do things that would otherwise get them permanently banned anywhere else, which can be a good thing. Twitch has been known to ban people's accounts for something that doesn't necessarily deserve that kind of punishment, but nonetheless, Kick has made it very clear that unless you kill somebody, a 3-day suspension is all you're going to be looking at. Maybe even shorter if Aiden Ross happens to see what you did and that retard says his classic, I'll talk to Eddie about this, I'll make sure you guys get him banned. Like, remember that old guy who died on stream last week because of all the shit that these guys were putting him through for multiple days? The fact that was even allowed to go that far before anyone at Kick was like, yeah, I think we should do something, proves that they care more about exposure rather than safety. They were torturing this guy for days and they act like banning them after the fact does anything. But yesterday, I swear to God, I thought I witnessed a death of my own, so I couldn't figure out what to make a video on all day, and I was about to go to sleep when all of a sudden I saw this clip of Rampage Jackson's son getting into an altercation during his stream. And real quick, if you're like, who? Rampage Jackson, UFC fighter, his son is retarded. But his son is at this amateur wrestling event talking to some wrestler backstage when all of a sudden this happens.
You don't need to worry about him. You need to be worried about Psycho Stu.
Psycho Stu?
What, you don't know me?
Hell no. Yeah.
Hey, I think that's a little.
Oh, you don't sell it?
Easy. He's not a fucking worker, bro. Calm down.
Yeah, what the fuck was that?
You're good.
What the fuck was that?
You don't sell it?
Dude, he's not a fucking
Bro.
worker, bro.
What the fuck was that? Hold on. I don't play that shit, bro.
Oh, sorry.
Nah, I will fuck him up.
So if you guys couldn't tell, Psycho Stu doesn't know who the hell this is. He walks up with his hands on his hips like Raja was supposed to be like, he's right behind me, isn't he? But Raja doesn't care at all and doesn't even acknowledge him until they start talking. And then obviously Stu makes the mistake of thinking he was a fellow wrestler and literally smashed a beer can on this guy's dome. Now, regardless if it was empty or not, that shit is going to hurt. Even if he was just trying to play around, that is going to leave your head pounding. But also not to make Raja seem like the bad guy for getting hit. What the fuck was this guy doing? They aren't even in the ring. There aren't any fans around. Was this supposed to make him fight you in between a grill that's being used and 2 cars? I'm assuming he saw the cameras and thought a documentary or TV show was being filmed and he's like, now's my shot to make a name for myself. Not realizing that more people are watching this wrestling match than they are his stream. But since he was banned from Kick, we don't know what happens next, and the next clip just cuts to Raja jumping into the ring where he then suplexes this guy, knocking him out, and then lands 25 real punches to this guy's unconscious face until some of the other wrestlers realize that this isn't supposed to be happening and start restraining him until he eventually leaves and starts acting like he's this big bad guy who doesn't take shit from anyone.
At the end of the day, I'm gonna stand up for my fucking self. Because I'm tired of everybody playing with me, bro.
Calm down, you big pussy. If he knew you were going to throw a tantrum in the middle of his fight, he wouldn't have let you suplex him to the ground. Like, you can tell this guy is trying to keep balance on his shoulders, thinking that this is some wild card opponent they gave him, and then almost die seconds later. And what's even more embarrassing is how angry he is after all of this. He left talking about, I'm tired of people making fun of me, thinking I'm not gonna do anything. He didn't even know who the fuck you were. For him to smash a beer can on your head without any hesitation like that shows you that that is something they do to each other on the regular. He didn't do it because he thought you were a little bitch who wasn't gonna fight back. He was literally provoking you in the only way he knows how to, thinking that this was some good content for the camera. In hindsight, it kinda was, but not in the way Psycho Stu wanted it to be. And what's even crazier is that there's this other clip of Raja getting a call from someone saying that they can't wake the guy up. So by now, everyone's thinking he's dead, but this guy's so full of emotion that he can't even process anything of what he's just been told.
Shit pissed me off though, Andre.
I understand that, but
like, nah, they can't wake the nigga up. He's fucking in the ring, fucking flatline, bro.
Now, thankfully, the guy was able to wake up, and they obviously took him to the hospital, but I don't think Raja knows what kind of trouble he's in. Like, say what you want about Stu smashing the can over his head. He shouldn't have done that, but he didn't do it with the intention of causing serious injury. Like, this was one of those wrestling moves he does to get the crowd all riled up. Like, when this is done to someone, they're supposed to be like, oh my god, I think I got a concussion, and start acting like it actually hurt them. But it certainly doesn't deserve 25 consecutive punches to the face. Now, Raja's dad, Rampage, did respond to this by saying, I want to clear up some misinformation about my son Raja. I've been confirmed that the wrestler Stuart Smith, aka Psycho Stu, is awake and stable. Raja was unexpectedly hit in the side of the head by him moments before Smith's match. Raja was told that he could get his payback in the ring. I thought this was a part of the show. It was bad judgment and a work that went wrong. Raja is an MMA fighter, not a pro wrestler, and had no business being involved in an event like this. I don't condone my son's actions at all. He suffered a concussion from sparring only days ago and had no business doing anything remotely close to physical contact. As a father, I'm deeply concerned with his health and the well-being of Mr. Smith. That being said, I'm very upset that any of this happened, but my main concern now is that Mr. Smith will make a speedy recovery. I apologize on his behalf and to Kick for the situation. Now, first of all, you don't apologize for your son, you big dummy. You big dum-dum. What are you gonna do to me, you big dum-dum? You dummy. And I like how he tries to make it seem that the reason this happened was because his son was an MMA fighter. Brock Lesnar is an MMA fighter, and when he joined the WWE, he wasn't knocking people unconscious while still beating the shit out of them until someone stops him. Your little baby son who can't control his emotions thought getting payback meant taking someone's life. Thank God they stopped him before he did. Side note, worst ref in the fucking world. The one guy who's in charge of stopping everything is just watching this go down. Fire this guy immediately if you have recently hired him. Now, Rampage also mentioned how this was supposed to be staged, and I found this other tweet that seemingly confirms that, saying, based on what I've heard, the spot with Raja Jackson at KnockX Pro Wrestling was planned. However, Raja Jackson knocked this person out and followed up with a lot of heavy punches which were not planned to do that kind of damage. Stu was rushed to the hospital with serious injuries. We are working to find out more and have Stu in our thoughts. Psycho Stu! I imagine he talks like Randy Savage. I'm Psycho Stu and I'm gonna come back more psycho than ever. Probably will after all these head injuries. Now, there's this other video of Raja talking to his chat saying that the event owner said that he could hit Stu for real.
No, they didn't tell me to fake him. They said I could hit him for real. Yeah, they allowed me to hit him for real.
Now, I can guarantee you that is not what the owners told him. They probably told him that he can get in the ring and slap him around a little bit until he decides to fight back. But did they say you can suplex him on the ground and then send him to the hospital? I didn't even have to be there for me to know that they didn't tell him that. Like, if that's going to be his defense, then he is fucked. Because let's just say they did tell him, yeah, you can hit him as much as you want. You have to realize where you are. It's universally known that wrestling is staged, and they try to keep the injuries down to a minimum or just avoid them altogether. He should have known that what he was allegedly told to do doesn't mean break someone's fucking skull. Now, Rampage actually responded again, this time while on stream, but his response makes no sense. Part of it because he's the one telling us and not his son. He wasn't even there, so he's just trying to explain what his son did when we know exactly what he did and why, and saw that he took it too far live.
Don't know my son, and he hit him over the head with like a can or a beer can or a bottle or something, and my son didn't know it didn't know it was coming, didn't know, they didn't tell my son, and he hit my son over the head. I guess he thought my son was a pro wrestler or something, and Roger didn't react, but Roger didn't fight though. He didn't do anything, because I told Roger not to get punched, but still, nigga hit my son over the head. And then he asked my son, you ain't gonna sell it? When you in pro wrestling, when you sell, it's like, because that shit fake. MMA, we do real shit. And he said, you ain't gonna sell it? So when you don't sell, it make the other pro wrestler look bad, like he weak or something. But my son, he don't know nothing about that shit. So this motherfucker that hit my son is stupid. So in order for me not to go to fucking jail, I got to talk to his coach. Yeah, Roger wasn't aware. Roger didn't know what was going on. He just thought he was going and talking to those dudes.
No, yeah, it's not like that wasn't explained to your son right after he got hit. His son said that he talked to the owner to get his payback. The owner wasn't like, huh? He did what? Yeah, of course you can knock him out. He was more likely to have said something like, yeah, my bad, he thought you were one of the guys, but hey, if you want, while he's wrestling, you can jump in the ring and smack him around a little bit. I'll even get you the beer to smash on his head. And all Raja heard was, you must kill him. Like, having your dad keep making responses for you only makes you look worse. But yeah, guys, apparently this happened last night, and there's still more information coming out. Until tomorrow, it's hot as balls in here. Peace.